You're live. Oh no. Where's our video? It's coming. Lunch anyway. Lunch anyway. Lunch anyway. Oop. I can't move the phone because they won't see us. Don't see it, my phone. Later. There we go. Hi! And we're live! What's up, folks? This is YouTube. So I'm gonna put this away because we don't need it. Where's my video? Right here on your bed. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so here's our YouTube. That means I gotta turn this way so you can see the both of us for the YouTube. There we go. Hi, everyone. What I really want is some sort of cool graphic so that people can hear us, but we can walk away from the screen. But we about to be bougie ghetto with it. Putting that on the notepad. And in the meantime, I'll post it. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna enjoy this post. You better write like something on there. BRB. They can't see that, it's too close. BRB. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's it. Never enough tools. You're drawing? Okay. Good job. This is what I have to be. Yeah, go. Do you sleep right here? Mm-hmm. Do you sleep right here, Alice? Yep. Do you sleep right here? I sleep right where you sleep. I'm sitting right here. Baby, hand me my bag. Please.
where I'm gonna go live on Facebook because that's gonna be my clubhouse one.
Mommy, we eat it. Oh, right here.
That's your fish.
Oh, your bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not drama. Did you finish your water? Look for your water. This is the only color that I feel looks good on me ever. I tried red. I tried I always waste money on lipstick, lip gloss. Is there water in there, Shamba? Did you finish your water? Finish your water. You got a whole thing, girl. Drink your water. No, seriously. Let me get it for you. I can already. Why is this picture such a vibe to me? Look. It has your pillows, the bag, and your urn, and the printer. Right? It's amazing. Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. You're going live. What is this one then? No, this is good. I'm switching. That's gonna be Clubhouse. This is about to be Facebook. Okay. And you. I can't find my ID anywhere. I already sent it to you. I can't what? Leave it up to you. Chew your food, please. Stop. You want me to stop? In my own house? You know that Instagram will cut you off at a certain point? Mm-hmm. How long is that? I think they just be, it's supposed to go on for hours, but they need to have any moments. Yeah, no. That is so good. And hours. And hours. want to be 5 yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a stationary freak. I love stationary.
Are you?
When I was a kid,
We're kids. They don't know what that is.
for my 9th birthday, my mom was like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" I was like, "We go to Staples." I went to Staples and fucked it up.
As much stationery as I possibly can. How many stationery can I get?
Because you know, too, when you're in school, they tell you have to get the number 2 pencil, you have to get this particular notebook. I was like, no, now I can get whatever notebook I want. I can do whatever color pen I want. I can do what I want.
Which doesn't make any sense. Why? You can't just make sure the kids have paper. They like.
They don't want you to be yourself.
They don't want you to be great.
No. We want you to be the version of you that we want you to be. Alex. Yes, darling. You want to switch your pasta? Okay, let me get that bowl, honey. Thank you. You're welcome.
I need a logo really bad.
What's that one? That's not even a color. That's even color. That's perfect right there. Mm-hmm. That's even color. Your favorite color? That's my favorite color. That's my favorite color. You made that picture? Yes, I did. You painted like that. Purple. Yeah. Color is that? Blue. Teal. Teal. Teal is blue and green together. Yeah. What is that? What is that? That's not blue color. Yes, blue. Yeah, exactly. That's blue. That's my
kitchen.
Look, out the kitchen. Out the kitchen, Alice.
Out the kitchen.
Out the kitchen.
That's business.
Excuse me.
All right, Facebook.
Facebooks.
Facebooks. That's what we do need.
Facebook.
Let me get your tools. Facebook.
Facebooks.
Ooh. 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 Why you won't let me tag my friend? Get up. No, I wasn't supposed to do it.
Two squares.
Oh, now. Okay. Let's try this one again. Add description. Ooh, oh, this is where I tag a friend. Okay. Let's tag you. Facebook. Great. Shoot. As soon as you learn how to control your spirits, then we can have you be camera lady. Because black camera ladies are high in demand. And we are short these days, so. Let's see. Bring this over here.
We learned some things last week.
Yes, we did. Can we see us both though? What's going on? Oh, that's quiet. How am I supposed to go?
That way I'll be able to see you on this one.
Can you see me? Alright, this is good, right? Opposed to. Alright, public. Boom. Okay. And then I want to. No, not in. What I told you.
Start to wake up, Alice.
Hmm?
Just start to wake up. It's floating.
What's floating?
The one bomb is floating. It's floating.
It's floating?
Yeah.
Alright. I dig it.
Floating.
These musics. I'm gonna just play what I got on my homegrown so these folks don't shut us down.
Which they did. Last time.
You can't be too cool.
That's yours, Alice? That's yours?
Here's what mine.
I was too fresh.
That's yours,
Not cool.
Post to public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ellie.
Alice, what you doing?
We're going live.
We'll be back on at 6 o'clock. Join us. Is that good? Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes
You look dark though.
You do. Oh, but this light isn't on.
What phone is that for?
That's for yours.
Instagram. Ha! Y'all nosy folks on Instagram. No, I'm just playing. Okay. Turn on the light. Oh, we're brighter. But we need more light. All right, let's turn on the light. We're gonna have to turn on the light.
Yes, we are. Light is on.
Light is on. Yeah, that's better.
It is a lot better.
This is not
See
better.
All right.
See the rings on my house.
Can y'all see us? Can you see us?
Oh, puppy. I want to puppy.
All right. All right.
Alice, a god puppy. Alice. Alice, what is that?
What is it? My pants? My pants? Leggings?
You don't have a problem with it. It's just that's all they can do is sleep.
Y'all gonna turn around? Just leave it.
Just leave it like that.
Turn the camera. Hey, girl, hey. Y'all go listen to the music. Let me get my post-it.
BRB.
Right. BRB, y'all enjoy the view. I love it. Yes. Anyone?
No, it's great. It's not.
Some people had my post-it. You like that? You like that? Okay, so I gotta do that. Got the juice. Yes, darling. Come on, what one? This song? Yeah, okay. So you want me to get a second? Yeah, no. My cotton ball.
Don't try to get me in trouble, mama. I'm okay. I like to be in these well, that's not a question. Wait. So many people keep. Yeah, mine Vertical and right? Make sure these things.
Dear graphic designers.
I'm gonna tell you what we are and what we're not. Transparent magazine.
Yes, girl. Come on, ready for dance school. When are you doing? October? No, but
basically
Stay there.
You're like an elephant.
That's how you gonna do me?
Oh, woman, on a dusty road. She's got so many things to say, they don't even know. Well, she's got the wisdom, and she's got the pain. And though she's sitting there in silence, she knows about the rain. She knows about the rain. She's a cry of fire in the night. She's a cry of fire in the night. She's a breeze, a wind in the air. She's everywhere. She's a cry of fire in the night. She's a scream of fire in the night. She's a breeze, a wind in the air. She's a breeze, a wind in the air. She's a breeze, a wind in the air. She's everywhere, everywhere, everywhere.
Oh, my brain. Oh, my brain. Are we live? Why, my brain? I think I remember. Coming home. Playing.
yell at them like, yeah, I'm just teaching them how maybe prepare them for summer jobs in a couple of years.
We love it.
Like, don't talk. Golf is a serious sport. You don't smile in golf. Like, yeah, it's okay. And I was like, get out. I'm gonna try. I'll do it.
Share. Alright, we can still share it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, darling. Your mama was hot. Some of the Facebook for her. I like it tropical weather up in here. So I can feel like I'm in the rainforest. And dear Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and Clubhouse, you're hearing original music, so I wish you would try and shut me down. Because you cannot. I have all the rights to play all of this.
These still don't.
Yeah, this is my music.
Right. Yeah.
So enjoy the original tracks while we wait for some more folks to join us for our lovely discussion we're going to have today. It's going to be so fun. Can't see anything. That was the point.
That was our curtain.
Okay.
The curtain kept falling, but that was our curtain. No.
Yay! Divine's here. Hello, hola, ¿cómo estás? Yes, for sure. We're just about to get started in a few minutes. Feel free to tag some people into the space and welcome everybody. This is going to be a rich conversation. So in the meantime, Marpesa, please meet Divine Marpesa. This is her brainchild. I'm actually just supporting. So
This
our brainchild.
Okay.
She's a beautiful infant. Hi, Divine. I think we follow each other. We're friends now on Instagram. Well, thank you so much. Yes, it absolutely is our space. I'll tell you the story of how it got started too. Is I was washing dishes, and I said, I just have this download, and it was like, ask May Alice if she wants to host a clubhouse room. So I texted her, and she responded in less than 2 minutes and was like, yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, that was super easy. And then I pitched the idea. It's an 8-week series on magic is movement. I'm the magic. Anyway, magic is movement. And today we're going to talk about never enough tools because it's mental health awareness month this month. And of course, our goal, our mission, our purpose is to center Black women. And so in conversation as we were doing our strategic planning and concept planning, we just were like, Black women can never have enough tools. We just can't have enough tools. So in the conversation, we'll be talking about not just that, but we've talked in the past too about what we're not going to do. It's my baby's cup. What we're not going to do is dwell on the low, but we're going to talk about how we can be there for one another, provide additional tools to one another, support one another, and just operate in a different space and place. New tools, especially post-COVID and all the things. So, welcome everybody. So we have my Instagram, Alice's Instagram, my YouTube, your YouTube, our Facebook, and our Clubhouse room. What's good, everybody?
What's 6?
All the things.
Yes, girl. We got like 6 different devices going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 actually. Girl, come to Colorado. You can hook up, plug in, and we can do all the broadcasts. Why not?
Where do you live?
Yes, simulcasting. So yes, if those of you who are with us here on Facebook, thank you for joining us. You can catch the replay on YouTube. I will link that later. But this is going to be so exciting. I'm so glad we're here talking about this. Last week, our conversation was essentially about our name and the magic and what that brings to the table and how can we use that. And this week, we're talking about us never having enough tools. Like, how many tools can you fit in your personal, spiritual, physical, educational toolbox so that you can use these things as you move forward in life? And, you know, where did you get these tools from? Are they outdated? Do they need to be upgraded?
Are they useful?
Right. Let's talk about it. Do you take them all with you for travel? Do only certain ones you take with you? Like, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So that's the conversation today. I'm one of your hosts, May Alice Catherine Wells, coming to you live from Denver, Colorado, at my lovely, humble abode, May's house. So I'm glad to have y'all here.
Yes, indeedy. And I'm Marpeza Allen, also out of Denver, Colorado, originally from ACO, River, Colorado. And also the founder of Mahogany Mother Circle. And we always start. So we have in-person bi-weekly sessions in Colorado, in Aurora. And what we do is just come together and hold space for Black mothers at any age and stage. And so recently we had a brunch. We were working just virtual for the almost 2 years, and we finally decided it's time to come outside. So we came outside. So later on, I'll tell you all what the rundown is. If you are in Denver, I'll give you the rundown on what we're doing for the next couple of weeks this summer. And then both May and I will be on. We're going to be on here every Wednesday for sure for the next 6 weeks now. If we don't include this time.
Yeah.
What we always do though, regardless if we're in the digital spaces or in person, is I always like to make sure we're grounded in who we are at Mahogany Mother Circle. So we have a charter. And as I pull that up, Alice, would you add anything?
Yeah, totally. Shout out to my homegirl Lila too, Lila Brown on Facebook. Thanks for joining us here today. And shout out to everyone else who came into the space. Thank you, Divine Love, for showing up and showing out, and all of our friends here on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. We definitely love y'all being here. And I feel like one of the most important things that is coming to face for us today is really being in our bodies. And I don't know that like we spend enough time just taking the time to really be conscious about the fact that our spirit is literally inside of this vessel that we walk around in every single day. And are we listening to it? Are we allowing it to have a conversation with us so it can tell us what it needs versus we tell it what it needs? So I just want to take this moment to kind of breathe into that, bring all your energy back to you, come inside yourself, and then I think we're gonna get started with a little grounding technique before we get into our conversation, which I think is awesome because especially as we're traveling, we can easily have our energies all over the place, and it's hard to focus when you are scattered. So I invite you all to join us.
Yes, invite us with our grounding, and then I will also. So we have grounding, which we always do in Mahogany Mother Circle. And I want to get us started. We close our eyes. It's kind of weird with me closing my eyes. I don't trust y'all looking at me without my eyes. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So we're just going to do breath this time. And the point of this grounding is to help us be more mindful of our breath. And you would not believe, or maybe you would, in case it was already a tool that you were using. I'm a doula, so I work a lot around making sure my clients have techniques in different type of breathing. And what it does is clears our mind. It centers us. It also helps physically bring you down a notch. And then just the oxygen to your brain. So I'm going to just give you a super basic instruction on breathing. And first, it's making sure that you're sitting up straight, feet planted into the ground. And you're going to, as you're breathing in with your nose, if your shoulders are coming up, that's a shallow breath. It's a cheap breath. Do not put that in your toolbox. What you want to do is make sure that you're expanding your diaphragm. And we'll only do it for about 3 counts. Hold it for 3 counts and then exhale. So let's get busy. Close your eyes. Breathe in for 3 counts. 3. Hold it for 3. And exhale. And your chest should sink. And then for your second breath this time, what I want your goal to be is to feel like your pelvis. Think of you feeling your air, feeling air into your pelvis. So 3 counts. 3, hold it, and exhale. And let your body just cave in. Last time. This time, as you're breathing in, I'd like you to set your intention on what you want to learn today about your tools and just taking care of your mental health and self-care. And 1, 2, 3. Hold it. And exhale. Let it all out. Let all that air out. I also should mention, when I say Mahogany Mother Circle, I bring my entire mother's agency into what we do. So what that means is my daughter is in the background. Even when we meet in person, you can most absolutely bring your children. And the reason for that is because so many times we have to compartmentalize where our children can and can't be. So I've just been blessed to be able to work and have the option of bringing my daughter along. I know that's not the way of the world as it is right now, but it is what it is. Also, with that being said, for those of you who can see us on camera, I breastfeed. So I'm in the middle of having to do that without notice. So anyway, before I pass this off to start this conversation, what I want to let you know of is our Mahogany Mothers Circle Charter. And this is a safe space. It's a place where we share our feelings and help one another, a place where we have real conversations, a place where we respect and honor one another, a place where we maintain confidentiality, a place where we are empowered by each other's journey, a place where we ground ourselves in love, a place for Black mothers and their seeds, a place for genuine, authentic sisterhood, a community of confidence, realness, and dignity strong enough to stop time, intentional presence. We're learning to develop examples and live out our womanhood, and the capacity to bring forth life and maintain life, where we lift each other in womanhood. Our proper image is who we are. So welcome everybody to our second part of our series on Magic is Movement. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. It's me. So thank you, ladies, for those of you who have joined the room. If you would like to introduce yourself and shout out where you're from, if not, that's completely fine. But we also like to know who's joining the circle today.
Yes, girl.
We're on all the platforms.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. I am Divine Love by Maxine. Definitely grateful to be here in the Mother Circle. I am a mother myself. I have 5 children and 2 grandchildren. My 2 oldest children one will be 19, the other one is 23. My 23-year-old has 2 boys, and she's a breastfeeding mom as well, or Michelle. I also have a 12-year-old son and then 2 daughters, which they are 6 and 7. So yes, I had to think, right? I got a lot. But I enjoy being a mother, and I definitely use a lot of these tools for breathing techniques as well. It does so much for our body holistically, within our whole heart space, and healing and definitely cleansing and purifying our energy as well in our mental state too. So we definitely need that. Grateful to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for having me here. And I really feel like I needed to be in this space, right? Especially as a mother, right? So the support is such a beautiful thing. Grateful to be here. And again,
We're grateful that you're in the space. And first of all, they don't know what it's like to be a mom of multiples. Once you hit the 3 threshold, it's a whole It's a whole nother world. I have a 15-year-old. I also have to think about it. So I have a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So they're amazing. 2 girls, 2 boys, but they are they keep me busy. They keep me on my toes.
Right on. Well, I don't have any children of my own that I have birthed, except for my creations. So I am mother to my creations.
That's right.
And I've also had to mother myself. You know, there's been a lot of situations that I've been through that I've had to overcome and figure out how I'm going to do this. And my solution was essentially to just nurture myself and be the type of mom that I always needed. And that's not to say that, you know, my birth mother did do her thing, but as we all know, it takes a village. And some of us, you know, frankly, we don't have that village or not in the way that we always need it. And so now I feel like this is a part of what I want to do is be that village for the folks who need it. And so here I am supporting in the best ways that I can with the knowledge that I have and the love that I have. So that is me. And this is me doing what I can do to help support other mothers in their journey because I know what it's like from a child's perspective to, you know, not necessarily be able to support them in the way that I want to, but want them to have everything that they want to experience in the world. And how do you give that to them? So I feel like this is my solution. All I could do is create a safe space where you can get an opportunity to reintroduce yourself to yourself and get to know yourself again before you had kids, you know, and all of those things, because that has been one of the things I feel that a lot of women in general have talked about as I've gone through this journey and talked with other mothers. So that's what I can do. I can be girls' night out. I can be fun times. I can remind you that you are a woman first before you are a mother. And you know, we can talk about all the things and do all the things and have all the fun before you have to go ahead and put that mom hat back on and do your thing. So yes, welcome to this space. I love it, and I'm so excited for our conversation
I know,
today.
I am too. And welcome T. I don't know if you're able to even write in the chat where you're from. Yeah, I'm glad you're here as well. So what I wanted to tell you though, May, is obviously I think every project that I've done, it's been organic, just not as fast. And so with that, I think just in the few weeks that we have collaborated and worked together, you absolutely have done just that. Where, you know, I'm going down my list of things and you're like, I don't know if I can nurture my inner child going 55,000 miles a minute. And I love that because I had to slow down like, yeah, I'm just, what is that about just having other human beings to be responsible for? That sometimes it gets in the mode of, let me check that off my list and let's get to it. Let's make it fast. And so I appreciate it. You know, it's just the whole vision was pitched. That's exactly what you did. Like taking baths. That's another thing. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I need to take, not that I don't bathe. I'm just saying like um, I need to take the time. Your smoothies, the amount of time and intention you make around your smoothies now. Like, those kinds of things is so important for us to also not have a division between those who have birthed children through their womb, but also those who help us nurture our children and you're right, nurture ourselves as well, to make sure that our babies are growing up to be all that they can be. It takes a whole village, it really does. Welcome T from Columbia, South Carolina. My family's in South Carolina. Greenville, Gaffney, Spartanburg, and that's it. So welcome. So as I mentioned,
we have we want to address never enough tools, and then our side topic around that was mantras, meditation,
and mediation.
Mediation, and I think I put medication on there too.
Yes.
I put medication on there too because that is all important. We're here for all of that.
Okay.
Just depending on like what your mode is. Yes, Devon, thank you for the hand clap. So with that being said, May, what are your go-to tools that have been effective for you in bringing you back to yourself?
I love this question. So, you know, my tools are kind of cyclical and they kind of go with the seasons and also like depending on what am I doing. But for the most part, I just go to music and I use that as a way to give me structure. And then I kind of like move in the structure of the music. And so like I'll get stuck sometimes too. I'll find a song. I'm like, yep, this is the song that I need. And I will listen to that song on repeat for hours, days, months if I need to, because I have to clear out this thought, this energy, this whatever that's sitting in my body. And so that's like probably my number one go-to. After that, it's like, nature is really awesome. This is why I love for it to be hot and to be in the sun or even in the moonlight and feel the wind. Like it really doesn't matter. It's just nature. Just come and touch me. Let me know what's good. And then baths are like my number 3. So those will be my top 3. Like if I don't feel like going out to do anything necessarily, I'll run that water and I'll be in there for hours until literally my fingers and my toes start to prune up. And I feel every single ounce of energy just leave my body. So those are my top 3.
I love it. We definitely share the music part. I'm not gonna lie, music for me though, like my go-to music is rap music. Rap music is mine. And then gospel music after that. So it really just depends. Like I had to have like this balance between the both. But also my new tool that I have added is running. It is amazing. It is challenging, and it also I've had to address my self-talk about reminding me about who is the person that I want to be. How am I going to be those things if I'm physically not fit and have the capacity within my temple to be able to do that. So I started this app called C25K. Nike also has an app that is devoted to showing you workouts and showing you how to take care of your body physically in the way you like to take care of your body. So I know on Nike they have like yoga, they have weight training, and they have all those things. C25K is specifically for teaching you how to run. And I only work out 3 times a week. And for 30 minutes, I don't do anything less. And then I started signing up for 5Ks just to run them to have fun. But the goal is not to beat a time or run this a certain amount of time. I just started paying attention less to my weight loss and more so, honestly, about caring for my blood flow, particularly around my heart. And Black women, we need to be aware of the silent killers. And if we could take care of our heart, that's going to take care of a lot of things. And then last thing, a new tool that I also added is I will chew garlic. I'll chew a clove of garlic. It's good for blood pressure. It's good for cholesterol. It's also good for your heart. I know it's some other stuff, but that right there was like my buy-in, and it's cheap, and I apparently can grow it in a garden. So I plan on doing that. So those are my new tools. The tool that'll always stay. Oh, that's my baby dad. I also maintain boundaries with my children's fathers. That's another one. Oh, that's the one you want to get the hand clap. He's gonna get a phone call after this is over. What are yours, Divine? Yeah, what are your go-to tools for maintaining your maintain?
She's like, do I even maintain?
Mm. I know that's right. Mm. Ooh, thank you for those. And for those of you who are on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, Divine's joining us on Clubhouse, and she mentioned some gems around drinking water, your room space, your room space, bedroom space,
Being sacred.
music. Yes, we all share the theme of music, bells, chanting, spiritual bath. Like you have a whole regimen. Those sounds amazing. Yes, yes. And I think that we really take for granted. I think about this a lot because I'm trying to beef up the drinking of the water a lot, especially running and it's hot. But we have running water in the United States of America. We don't have to go. And I hate to be that person who is like, don't you know there's children in Africa who
because there's not
who don't eat 3 meals a day or whatever, but like I don't have to walk in miles to go get water. And even if our water isn't clean, we have options on finding clean water easily. And so, with that being said, it was like, dang, that's a first world problem to not drink enough water. So I've been on this mission of really asking the question, like, hey, sis, what's your water intake like? Not to mention the benefits, the skin.
Yeah. Well, you know, I will say this. I grew up in the world of dance and theater and production and all of that my whole life. I started training when I was 5, and I was in a professional children's dance company at age 7. So, eating healthy and maintaining a certain level of, fitness has always been something that's been a part of my life. And I had no choice but to drink nothing but water because you don't have time for anything else. And so from that space, what I took was, okay, if I know that I'm quote unquote a little bit lazy about or less disciplined in being regiment about the things that I put into my body, how can I trick myself to help myself? And so if I know that a lifestyle that's pretty, jam packed with being busy in the active sense, then I'm automatically going to shift my dietary needs to fit that lifestyle. So in a way, I kind of don't think about it. I just choose to go back to my active lifestyle, and then all of the foods and things that I need to consume to maintain that lifestyle go along with it. And that's kind of how I help mitigate my water intake, because when I'm dancing or just active in general, I will like that is my meal. I don't even really like to eat food, honestly. I feel like I only get food because I'm having people over or
Which, thank you.
yeah, totally. It's like the thing to do. But if I'm by myself, it'll be fruits and vegetables or water. I may get a snack or here or there. I'm not too much of an eater in general, so I don't even do the 3 meals a day. There's like days where I'm like, okay, this one meal was fine for me, but I'll have had 6 or 7 glasses of tea and water, and like it's all in there. So it works out for me, and that's just what my body wants. Like it doesn't really thrive when it has all that heaviness inside of it, and depending on where the food came from too, like and everything holds energy. So I don't know that like these grocery stores are not saging and palo santoing and blessing the groceries before they put them on the shelves. That's our responsibility when we get it home, but does everyone have that discipline? Not necessarily. So, you know, there's that aspect of it.
Well, I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie, hence that's why I need to run, hence that's why I need to take care of my body. But I'll say, yeah, absolutely. As far as the how we're not mindful because of us going to the grocery store, we're not hunting, we're not growing our food. It's also a first world problem, which also I've gotten into that rush mode where I'm wanting to can I let me see if she go live with this. So yeah, not wanting to take time to cook, take time to do those things. Hi Sheila. Sheila's on my Instagram. Are you able to talk? So Sheila's my new massage therapist, and it's so fitting for you to jump on here because we're talking about self-care. How do we have new tools? It's mental health awareness month, and we've just been going around this virtual space asking what are some of your tools that you stick to, abide by, or new ones that you have to maintain your maintain.
Yes, ma'am. Well, they both go together. Well, one thing, I always tell people that soak in empty house. I soak in the tub every day. Like every day. It's not one of those things like, oh, I'll have a soak. I soak every day. Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And sometimes I soak twice a day because it lets me, it gets rid of toxins in my body, but mentally also the sound of water is just sexy to me. Like running water, me being in water, playing water. It's just like I love water. So that's something that I do every day.
Um, Epsom salt, game changer. Every day, game changer. Also, there's this theme of water, inside and out. Like we love water, and that's good. We're majority water too, which makes sense.
And the crazy thing is that they used to say we're about 85% water, but I was reading something the other day because they're saying it will only 70% water. I
Hmm.
don't know what the changes were, but I can understand maybe a little bit because I think as we're stressed out, as our muscles are tight, as all this stuff is happening to us, I do think that maybe we're not as much water because we're not allowing water to get into our muscles and, we're just stressed. And I don't know, so I don't want to turn this into a whole massage thing, but when you have those knots in your body, when I get rid of a knot, whatever water, the moisture that's in your body,
it rushes to that place because more water and moisture is getting there. So that's why we tell you to drink a ton of water because we know we just dehydrated you. We left any matter, anything, now you're going to be dehydrated because whatever sources of water you had went to that spot. So I can see that maybe I can kind of see like maybe we're just not getting the water that we need to get enough to our bodies because it's not penetrating where it needs to go. But, massage junkie, so.
We all should be. Are you a massage person?
It's sort of kinda. I like the concept of getting massages, but I'm such a sensitive person and I like my life to be so customary. I would prefer to have someone that I know that is specifically for me that is going to do my massage work. And quite honestly, I wouldn't want them working on other people, just me. So I would need a personal.
So you need a partner.
Yeah. Like it's just one of those things, you know what I'm saying? And for me, like touch is so much of a love language that, you know, it would be difficult for me to be like, you touch them like you touch me. No, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So rather than get into that whole situation, I just mind my business and take care of me.
Girl.
Until we get to that point.
Girl, when your back starts hurting and things are out of alignment, I highly encourage. What's that?
Yeah, because that sounds untherapeutic. Like when you're saying, you touched this person and you touched me, that's like not like that doesn't sound like a therapeutic touch. I'm not saying it's sexual, but like I'm not like you at all, but I just want to say that I also don't want to just work on anybody either. Like some people like, hey, anybody that needs on my table, I really pray and put this energy out there that God gives me the people that need to be on my table.
Yeah.
So some people are like, oh, I'm gonna tell my friend, and I can say, don't tell your friends, don't tell your friends. So like, if my sister here tells somebody, I trust whoever she tells to come to me because I don't want anybody because there is a spiritual connection. And she and I connected right away. So I would trust her to tell somebody to come to me. I don't want everybody to come to me, which might be the same thing as you're saying. I don't want everybody
On the
to
flip side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that it brings up a good point too about the importance of having your healers around you, no matter how they heal you. So we can't, I mean, yes, we can heal ourselves, but there's also different chapters in our lives where we welcome those healers. If it's somebody you talk to, if it's somebody you pray with, if it's somebody you do art with, if you collaborate with, it's important in general to have those you believe are a part of your healing process. So I like that point too. It's like if we are in the world and we believe that we're attracting what we're supposed to attract, then we're attracting the healing properties of however we need to be healed in that moment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Totally. I feel like that's where I was coming from with it, like, because I'm deeply into, you know, my spiritual practice, and so I know from that perspective, there's just certain things that I just wouldn't want to involve myself in, given that, you know, but. And that's also because I don't know what their spiritual practice is. So while they may be well intended in what they're doing, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to now be subject to whatever it is that they were exposed to before they get to me. So rather than me get myself into those type of situations, because massage therapy is supposed to, from what I understand, relieve you of those stresses. Right. I was like, it's kind of productive if I'm feeling stressed out on the table. So, right. And that's where the medication comes from. Thanks, marijuana and mushroom plants.
So that's a your nuance. Apparently, I see some people tapping in on your Facebook.
Yes, my
What are
homegirl.
some of your tools that help you maintain your maintain?
Yes, let us know in the comment section.
Let us know. Let us know. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of just saying too, like medication. I would even consider food is your medicine. Food is your medicine for sure. Vitamins. Vitamins.
Definitely mine that I'm over medicated.
I know that when I saw my grandfather had congestive heart failure, and I said when I saw that was like the first time I was exposed to those weekday pill planning contraptions where you put all the pills in. I helped, just make sure he had all his medication times and all of that. And I was in high school. I was like, never will I get to this point. I don't want to get to this point where I'm popping medications that I have to go get prescriptions for and fill and plan my medication, especially if I'm not meal planning. So even though I've had to at times actually take medication, it's not without me asking a ton of questions. It's not without me talking about my exit strategy. It's not about me, I'm asking all the questions. So I'm not someone who's like, don't write off your doctor or anything like that. But again, finding the right people that you trust to walk through certain chapters of your life. But that whole getting 15 million medications, I just was like, oh my God, please, I just don't want this. What do I got to do to not get to this point?
Almost like I deal with taking those many pills.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what was your take on that? What do you do?
They have to take it. It's just like almost a trophy to do. Like it's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would be working towards not taking that.
Not.
How about you focus energy there?
Right. So that's what Sheila was just saying for those who are on the other platforms is that, and then there are those people who take pride in taking the medications that they're on like it's a badge of honor, when in fact it should be like, man, how can I work towards not needing something synthetic to take care of something that my body could heal? So, y'all know that's a great point. It's these commercials that make you feeling like, you can be, what have you, what were you saying?
No, go ahead, Divine, you were saying?
So I love giving my own self massages. Now I have given other people massages, and I remember I wanted to go to school to be a massage therapist. But the thing is that some people know how to do the pressure points and all of that, but I don't like those deep tissue massages either. I want somebody to rub me down in certain spots where they're not so like aggressive or too hard, or I'm very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? So I like the soft, like touch massages with like lavender oil, rose oil. All of that is very important for me. And that's why I do it myself. I massage myself. And my daughter, my 19-year-old, was like, Mom, I need to go get a massage like my feet. And that's my feet massage. And I said, honey, you can massage it yourself. A lot of times we've been so conditioned to think that somebody else has to constantly,
do things for us, right? Massage and pedicures, manicures. It's like we can learn how to do some of this stuff ourselves. Of course, other people can pay for us and do it too, but our hands have a purpose in our hands. We carry energy with our hands, and we don't want just anybody affecting our energy field. So definitely give it to rubbing your own self and gathering your own self. That way you'll know what you like and what you don't like.
No, absolutely. No, thank you.
Well, massage and rubbing are two different things. Massage and rubbing or caressing are two different things. So, I don't think we're talking about the same thing. When I think of massage, I don't think of it just like,
You took a couple
you know,
minutes?
I don't know, maybe because I'm therapeutic, and I don't think you guys are talking about therapeutic massage.
It might be to
Because rubbing is not to get a knot out from back.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. That's that
But I totally accept what you're
tissue
saying.
massage, right?
what were you saying?
I'm sorry?
Saying the therapeutic deep tissue massage, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think. Well, okay.
Not
Let's.
all big tissue, but it's, I'm like, I'm into it. So somebody might come in one day and they don't need mouthing. They might just need to be light strokes, light stretching, just to let them soothe themselves and let go of that tension. And then somebody may come in that is never probably ever going to get a light touch because they really need this elbow. And
Right.
she knows what she is. It's just that I'm not a, if we want to just have like, I'm trying to get to a point where your body feels good, not just superficially feel good. I
Right.
want to release something. I want to get rid of stuff that's been stuck in your body forever. You could have had an injury 2 years ago and you think that it affects you still. It affects the way you walk, it affects your neck. You could have an injury from when you were 5 and you thought you were okay. But you got turned on the left and on the right. You have this slight gift, but it's from a long time ago because you never addressed that. So, and I hear what you guys are saying, and I don't want to touch everybody's either. And they shouldn't want me to touch them if they feel any kind of way. But this is different than me getting your connective tissue. It's different than getting your fascia. It's a whole different thing. So you cannot do that for yourself. Nobody's going to be able to do those things for themselves because their body can't go to the back of their neck. Their body can't reach their buttocks. Their body can't reach those. So it's not the same.
Yeah, I like what I do here. I mean, between the lines is that for us as women at this point, we know what we like, we know what we need, and not only that, like we all have different things in our toolbox that we want and do and need. The other thing that I heard is just like this trust factor that you have to have, period, when it's incorporating someone else within taking care of yourself. Otherwise, I much rather trust myself in taking care of myself. And I do see some really good ones on Facebook as well.
Yes. One of my friends, Kiori, thanks for coming through. And Shayliana, Kiori says lots of weed and meditation. Okay, girl. I stay very medicated. Also learned how to grow beautiful plants. Putting my hands in the dirt feels so good. I have to agree. I love putting my hands in the dirt. And Shayliana chimed in with, where did she go? Peace and quiet,
I saw bird watching
birds
on there.
chirping, wind blowing in the trees. so that she can breathe at a regular pace, and helps her think clearly. And of course, the occasional marijuana, our best friend Mary Jane, a shower. Showers really help her free herself from negative energy and entities, and saying affirmations out loud as she's showering. Yes, affirmations as you shower. I love it. And then there was also a suggestion to try jasmine tea from Miss Curie. I love it. Yes, shower. You know, there is a difference for me when I take a bath versus when I shower, because I feel like my baths really do help me to like relieve energy from me. But I feel like my showers is when I get downloads of information, and so it's like I don't know. It's like quick manifestation. It's kind of like a life hack. It's fun.
What are some of your um? What are some of your affirmations? Anyone can chime in on this.
Well, one I love to say is I am amazing, and I am abundance. Like I am abundance.
Yeah.
Like I'm the abundance. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then just I am. Girl, I am.
My mentor that I met with yesterday, she gave me one in college that I repeated to her yesterday, and she was like, I told you that one? And it was over 15 years. I said, I sure did, and you sure did. And it was, it is, I am, I am irresistibly attracting all that is mine by divine right. All the good that is mine by divine right. I am an irresistible magnet. That's what it was. I am an irresistible magnet to all the good that is mine by divine right. And I forgot the irresistible part yesterday. She was like, no, the irresistible magnet. It's like, yes, that was the problem. Now I'm going to higher heights now. So yeah, that was dope. I'm gonna start using that one. But also I was thinking about, and it confirmed yesterday because we were talking about it, is that I want to encourage my children to write their own. And the reason I want them to write their own is so that I am not imposing on their level of understanding or what it is that they want. And so just how can I guide them into creating their own affirmations and what it is they want to affirm within themselves.
I love that. That's amazing. I'm so excited for this next generation of children to come forth because they learning all this stuff, and I don't know what's going to be in the future. And there's going to be some OGs out here like, oh, you already know? Like, okay, great. I'm like, yes, because we're not trying to do this again. We are not trying to do this again. So we have meditation, mantras. We didn't talk about mediation.
We did not. Though when my baby dad called, I did say that I have boundaries. I did say boundaries.
You did.
What are your thoughts on mediation?
Well, here's my thing. As I said, I don't have any children of my own, and I know that family dynamics have changed a lot over the past few years, and I'm not really sure that everyone necessarily fit into what was supposed to be considered our norm, the nuclear family, 2.5 kids. What does that even mean? Mom and dad living in a 4-unit home. And so it's like, okay, how have single parents navigated the world of motherhood for themselves and their children? Like, what unique experiences have they had to overcome in order to create balance in their life, in their home, and just do the everyday thing? And are they contending with, the counterparts that help bring these individuals into this universe or not. Because some people are not even in contact with the other party, they're just doing their thing. So, in those cases, I wonder for the children if they need that other voice to bounce ideas, voices, thoughts, etc. off of. What do they do? Or are they just left with, I gotta just do what this one parent tells me to do? Is my village a thing? Will they help support me in some of the decisions that I want to make in my life? And how do we all make this happen? Because I imagine as a single parent, if you do have a village that is supporting you, is it based on values? Is it based on ideals? Or is it based on the fact that we're just all in the situation trying to make it happen together? And is there room for different parenting techniques to coexist without anyone feeling like their desire for how they want their family to be raised is not being acknowledged? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I can chime in on that. Sorry, I had to change the pull up. So where do I begin? We're talking about mediation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I think of mediation, I'm no longer triggered by the term, but mediation has been for me post divorce, trying to figure out how to raise the kids. So for me, the tools around mediation, I wish that it wasn't some outside objective party that knows nothing about the ins and outs of the complete context of the situation. And as far as raising my kids, I welcome, based off of like my core values, I welcome different styles. On that same like question around who is in that village, you don't get a pass because you're family. You don't get a pass because I've known you for a long time. And you don't get a pass because you're my child's teacher or, any type of leader. That's not how you get a pass. Like, you get a pass because you have earned my respect. And people, they should speak different languages to my kids and contribute different things so that my children um, have the tools enough to decide what they want for themselves based off of like this was mom's rubric. But as far as mediation, I find it really sad. We're going to talk about single parenting, how triggering divorce is, how triggering breakups are, how triggering co-parenting can be, or the lack thereof when you're supposed to be co-parenting. But for me, going through that process, that's what's made me so staunch of a believer in self-care. When I was married, it was kind of like, oh, that's nice. You know, that means a date night with myself. Heck no. Every day is around taking care of myself because there's so many assaults that we have. And sometimes those assaults are from people that you thought were going to be in your life forever. So I'm not going to say I'm jaded, but I am going to say that I don't naively anymore think or trust that everybody, just because they're in some sort of association with me, is in my best interest. And that's where my boundaries have come from. They're not passive.
Okay, so I guess my question for you would be, what process did you go through to get to this point where there's some sort of, I guess, congeniality between you and your counterparts in order to be successful in the raising of your children? And then also, part two to that question is, how are the kids coping?
Okay. Ask that first part of the question first before I really think I know what you're asking. About you know what sucks about being live? You can't like rewind to see. I'll talk about how my kids cope and how did I get to that point. That's what was the question. Okay. And thank you, Divine, for jumping on. Hope you join us again. I think she just jumped off, but she's the best. Oh, and also for Sheila, thank you for jumping on too. I both of those women were dope. That was a good dialogue. So let me get back to. I think I was trying to buy time because I have had to feel every emotion and not stuff it. Period. And what I mean by that is the betrayal, the disappointment, the sadness, the anger, the denial, then back to anger, the sadness. Okay, I'm okay. I'm not okay. These unpeeling of layers of it being about a relationship that you thought was real. And if it was real, it would still be what it is. But so there's that like that whole like how could I have lived an illusion for that long? How did I do that? And then how do I forgive myself? And forgiveness, that's what I wanted to put on our notes. How important forgiveness is because unforgiveness can live in your body and manifest and take your life if you do not learn how to forgive somebody, no matter what. And I know that sounds just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you could say that, but it's not for them. It's for you. It's to release yourself from the bondage of giving someone the power to believe that they had that much control over you. So that took a lot of years for me to see. Then also reprogramming myself. How can I reprogram myself from being completely broke down? And to be honest about like I was broke down. And what has helped my kids, even though it doesn't sound like, oh my gosh, that's great, but to see their mom's resilience, for me to be honest, for me to not hide how terrible it is. Like, yes, absolutely. I'm celebrating the fact that like I'm out of that, but I understand like that's not good for all of us. Like that wasn't great. And I'm sorry and having to make amends for that. Also being at peace with the fact that like I'm not gonna be a perfect parent into them. And then how can I teach them how to navigate the same way I tried or wanted to, or may have been successful in working through those emotions, forgiveness of myself, and having no shame around it. Like no shame, there should be no shame about where we are in life. But I think that style of parenting, I don't see all day, every day. But if my kids want therapy, we're gonna find a therapist. If I think you need a therapist, we're gonna find a therapist. If I think you need to have a sit down with an elder, with all of us sitting around and having intervention, that's what we're gonna do. Or do I need to take something away from you? That part of it too. Like they also need to learn how to be accountable to their decisions, accountable to how they feel, and accountable about being intentional about how they want to navigate through life. That shit was hard. I didn't know if I was gonna make it a lot of the time till I made it.
Well, yes. Well, kudos to you, first of all, for making it.
You made it too.
I know, right? We here. I survived. It's so interesting. What is your biggest takeaway from that whole entire experience? Would you say?
I don't want it to be crickets while I think, but uh, giving myself a pat on the back for the times that all I could do was strive to survive. Like, that's okay. It's okay that I wasn't able to show up in a way that that other individual felt like I needed to show up. Um, and be okay with the fact that that doesn't mean I'm not good for somebody else. I think that's the goal sometimes when you're like out of a relationship, is like, you'll never find anyone as good as me. Nobody's gonna want you. If I can't have you, no one can. I'm not there with it anymore. I just am not good for you. Move on. And the faster you learn how to move on, the faster you can identify signs in another relationship of like residue that you had in that one. Pat yourself on the back for being human and like taking that person off of a pedestal if you had them on a pedestal, because life is way too short to be being stuck in a place that you almost didn't make it. So that's how I got over.
I love that, and it's so important because I feel like on a level, these experiences are still a part of our spiritual journey, right? They're still a part of what is helping our soul to evolve to the next level, and whatever that means for us individually. Everyone has their own goals, you know. And it's always interesting when our paths kind of cross and we have these conversations, and some of the experiences that we're going through are similar and some of them are quite different, but it's all poignant, it's all important, and it's all like necessary, which I think is a beautiful thing. And for me, it's been a lot of just embracing the fact that I am going through these challenging times, because I know that it is for my highest good. And from that space, it hurts a lot less. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? Since my highest self said we finna do this, let's go. It's not like someone put something on me, and like I can take ownership of it now. I can hold the reins and be like, all right, this is the direction we're about to take our life in. And I didn't get knocked off course at any moment. So it's like that is a space for me where I can find forgiveness, not only for myself for mistakes that I thought that I made, but for other people who I had expectations for them in my life, but that wasn't what they were supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I can release that and move on and feel comfortable in that space and thrive and enjoy that space now, because it's like, oh, well, since this is for my higher good, let me kick my feet back and,
right.
Enjoy this little ride right quick with my snack. Like,
my trophy.
Right, that part, let go.
So as you were talking, I was like, I don't know if you already read Shaylena's affirmation, I'm here for a purpose and I create my reality. And the moment I started really embracing chasing my purpose over people, over an experience, over, whatever, I was like, man, you do come higher, because I choose to give power to the things that are either going to feed me or deplete me of what's going to fuel me to get to my purpose. I'm somebody who, if I leave this earth and I left money on the table, I'm going to be real disappointed. Like, and I'm going to have resentment around the people that I gave power to, or circumstances that I gave power to that I felt defined me, and they don't define me. what defines me is what's inside of me. And that just has nothing to do with other people. It has everything to do with how I see things, how I navigate things, and what I'm here to do and achieve, and how I be. I've tried to explore. I talked about this last week. What does it mean to be? When you just be.
That part, and it really is an evolution, I feel. The bee that you were when you were 1 and 2 is not the same bee you're going to be when you're 21 and 22. And so, and even that bee is not going to be the same when you're 41, 51. So we're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing, and we're constantly getting opportunity to get to know ourselves again and again and again. So it's almost like you have every single one of those moments to not only just reinvent yourself, but embrace yourself again.
Right.
Maybe you didn't like the other version, and that's okay too. But you could like this next version,
or not,
or not. It doesn't matter. But the point is that you have the opportunity to experience those changes. And if you ever feel like you're stuck in a situation, if you could remember that, then you, in that moment, just unstuck yourself. And so you're free once again to choose and be however you want, because you now know the difference from how you're being from where it came from inside of you versus the you that you're being that's been inundated to you from society, friends, family, parents, etc., whatever those outside sources are. Those are the other influences that are saying, hey, you should be like this and da da da. You kind of go with that maybe for a moment, and they're like, wait, hold up, no. I'm cool on that. So we're going to take all that energy and let it exit stage left and just be with yourself and really know what that is, and then show everybody else this is what it is. So if you can't get with this, then you can get with that, the exit stage left. You feel me?
I sure do. I had a conversation yesterday about wow, is with my daughter. Is she on Instagram right now? Okay, good. I can spill the tea. So she was like, Mom, you should let me set up your Bumble. So, because you just keep going back and forth if you want to be in a relationship. I was like, first of all, I'm not getting on Bumble. Second of all, like, I'm okay. And I'm like, I really had to learn how to be okay with being by myself. So from like 13 on, and I wasn't for the streets, but like from 13 on until I got married at 23, it was consistent relationships. We don't need pens. Consistent relationships. And then after my divorce, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, who am I without a relationship? Let me get in a shallow one. And which wasn't for my highest good. So then I started thinking, and there was like, oh, I just hate being single. Like, yo, where did we get this whole narrative that our value is less if we don't have a partner? So I was thinking to myself, because, and I bring up my grandmothers all the time because they recently passed, but my grandma was married for 56 years. And then my grandfather died and she was by herself for 20. So it's just like eventually everyone is going to be by themselves. So why not learn when you're on your off period when it comes to like being in a relationship to be cool with that? I don't want to force it. I just don't want to force it. And I don't have no problems with people being online and all of that. But as far as like my personality is concerned, you really need to experience the live me. You can't. I know I'm a lot, and I know I'm a lot. Like I'm just live, and I don't like trying to translate that online. Like you really need to know who I am, because I'm just animated, I'm activated, and so like it's just weird for me to be able to do it that way. So
I agree. I'm the same way. I'd rather meet people in person if we're gonna like make any sort of connection, and that's for everything. Whether it's gonna be a friendship, business partner, romantic encounter, et cetera, et cetera. And even if we have met online, I won't be so serious with you or take our relationship but so serious until we've met in person.
Right.
Because I feel like you don't really know me and I don't really know you until we locked eyes
until
on
I
one
know
another
you.
and I smelt your aura. Like I gotta get into that whole situation. And it's been interesting because I feel like there's a split between our human experience, which has, I feel, a built-in desire to have human connection, versus the societal thing where we're be like, no, I'm gonna be by myself, and if I'm in another relationship, someone's gonna judge me, and this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, like, because I feel like, what if we didn't have society telling us you need to be in a relationship or not be in a relationship or have a certain amount of time pass before you consider the next one or whatever? Like, what if you were just literally free to just go in and out as little or as often as you felt was necessary for your own spiritual growth and didn't listen to nobody else? How many people would you actually, engage with? How many people would you actually go further with, maybe sooner than you would normally anticipate, because that's just what the energy led to?
Right.
And how sooner would you cut off people from being your life because it was clear like we only needed to have a week's worth of connection and that was cool, but now from that week we done somehow we married and da da da, but we already knew it was good. We just needed a week. So, like, where do we give ourselves the permission to listen to our own intuition in regards to that, so that that could be what navigates us through, these types of connection situations?
yeah, there are a lot of rules. You know what I appreciate about the queer community is they're on the outside looking into some of the exhaustion of heterosexual traditional like models and the rules and all of these other things. And when I was listening to that dialogue, and I'm just like, yeah, it's really irritating. It's really, really irritating. And it had been fed to us. And I was talking about how, like, my family is very hybrid blended. And I'm okay with it. And, uh, I don't subscribe to the term single mom because I have the whole family, including those partners that I had children with. But at the same time, it's one of those like, oh, what a disappointment. You don't have the nucleus family in the house, two dogs, white picket fence, soccer mom, blah, 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 blah. So that's just it's an unfortunate thing, but I think it is changing, and I think that just goes back to what we're talking about is like tools. Some of these tools are outdated. I'm not saying that either way, monogamy or whatever. I just think that people need to be okay, comfortable, and grounded in their decision making. Now, I would say that even goes against like my religious, my faith, because not religion. I told you I don't subscribe to the whole religion thing, but just like the faith community, it has to look a certain way, and people that have divorced are diseased, and it's just like, man, like what a lie, what a lie with denial.
Well, I will say this from a creation standpoint. If you created something and you have a specific vision for that creation, I could see where there would be boundaries. because you want to see your creation be what it is in your brain. Now that doesn't mean that the people who are participating in your vision agree with your vision, and so those folks want to make changes. Um, and that's where I kind of like respect the religion community, but not necessarily get myself involved in it, right? Because they have the right to create their religion. They have the right to practice whatever they want to practice, you know, and they have the right to have a vision of what they want their religion to look like and be played out as, you know, totally. But I also have the right to not do it that way. And I don't know that if I would put so much effort into making them change their thing versus acknowledging that's what they do and knowing that I want to do something different and putting myself in a space where I can figure that out and see that come to life. And then invite others who share that same sentiment to join me in my new creation because I have the right to create my own thing as well. And so from that space, I'm just like, all right, what do I want to experience going forward in terms of either human connection, family dynamics, or just my relation to other entities that are coexisting in the same plane. Because that's essentially what it boils down to. Like, we all got to share this earth. There's only one wind. There's only one sun. There's only one moon. Like, we all got to share this ish. So, since we all got to share this, how does that work? How do we do that? You know, what to me, there has to be other rules, other laws that we're all abiding to that allow us to coexist in these spaces while we simultaneously practice our different creations at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think for me, let me give you an example. So when we're, working in schools, a lot of times on the paper it says, "Dear parents." And what do you think about when you hear people say parents?
The mom and the dad.
A mom and a dad married. And
well, not necessarily married
well,
in my case, but
yeah,
do.
Parents. First of all, plural. Second of all, man and a woman married. That's like how it's been. I'm wrong, for assuming that, but we assume that. And so, but what about families that have completely different situations? It's your grandmother, it's your auntie, it's somebody that adopted you. And what the reason I bring that up is to say, even within the constructs of faith communities, where in the world did we get the idea that there would be perfection on earth and that there would be unity on earth? Like, doesn't make any sense, because you can't we're only going to be able to find a certain amount of peace and contentment here on earth. And so for us to say, like, this is perfection and this is the way that it's supposed to be, with no room for people that are different, instead of just embracing them for who they are, that's the problem that I have in any community. Is like, first, and they're unspoken guidelines. Everybody has unspoken guidelines. And so when you're outside of those guidelines, no matter what community it is, why do they need to feel ostracized? Why are they becoming demonized? What is that about? Like, it's to me, I just think it's because people are uncomfortable with what's not familiar.
I mean, I do agree that people get uncomfortable with stuff that is unfamiliar, but I wonder if there's so much, how do I say, if everyone's doing groups and they're all pretty much just out there, we're free, we're out there, we're doing our thing, there is room for you to create your own thing, but then once you created your own room, you created your own room.
Like our room?
Yeah, so like exactly, like we had no, like we started from scratch with the nothing, right, blank slate, and then we decided, okay, we're gonna be Mahogany Mother Circle. Well, we're being exclusatory. Why? Because if you're not Mahogany, if you're not a mother, then you can't be a part of the circle. So how, to me, that's no different than any other religion that sets themselves up and says, these are our belief systems, this is how we practice, and this is what we want the practice to look like as we're practicing it. And so I think from that standpoint, that's where we have the quote unquote rules that kind of come into place and say, okay, now that we've established this practice, these are the rules that go into place because of this practice. But once you don't have that practice, or if you as an individual don't subscribe to that practice, then you're free to do whatever you want to do. You can do all of the things, you can do none of the things, you can do some of the things, you can cherry pick and create your own thing. Like, you as an individual have options, but once you as an individual have made a decision on what option you are now going to subscribe to, you're locked in to that decision. And so whatever comes from that is that. Does that make sense?
The problem I have is locked in. There is not space for evolution. There's not space, like, to me, maybe that's like the free spirit in me. And the fact that I do have a hard time, like, feeling like I need to belong to any 100% of any group. Even like the challenge of being committed to one person is a challenge for most people. It is. It's really hard. And so, like, where can we have more grace around saying, okay, it's very hard to follow guidelines 100% of the time, all the time. Let's have space around reevaluating, acknowledging evolution, and not being elitist about it. That's my problem for sure. Is the elite, like, we're not trying to be elite when we say, and I love this term when you come into our room about being womb folks. It's because we have a certain, in black womb folks, it's because we have a certain commonality that is going to be the reason we'll have fruitful conversation. That's why. So if there's just a guideline because there's a guideline and there's not a why behind it, and you're elitist about it, and you're not holding space for change, and like, that's what I have a hard time with. And does that make sense?
Oh, totally. That makes a lot of sense. And I absolutely agree. I feel like, being intentional about the spaces that you put together helps the other group members too feel like they're a part of something that makes sense to them, and that the group is speaking to them, and the group is actually supporting them because this is what has been set up. And that is my exact point. It's like, once those people have decided to come into those spaces because we set it up and they're now committed, so we got to be committed too. we have to we have to hold down the guidelines, so we could always change the guidelines at any point, because it's our creation. We could say, all right, well, forget mahogany, we want to be mahogany and ivory, like we could always do that. That's always the option. But as of right now, these are the parameters in which we're operating. This was, we're saying this is our thing, and this is how we're going to present it to the world, because this is our imagery and what we're all about. You feel what I'm saying? And to me, that doesn't necessarily, just because we're separate doesn't mean that we think that we're better. And I feel like that's a misnomer that other people will end up coming up on their own. That we never set an intention that said, you know what, because we're in this cute little circle now, balls on the rest of you. Like, that was never us. But if someone else now puts that out, we can't control what they say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All we can do is say, no, these were our intentions in putting this space together. And thank you all for joining. For those who support us and understand what it is all about, and for those who don't get it, that's okay too. But we're not catering to you. We're catering to this group of people because this is what we believe in. This is what we're doing right now. So ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. And I want to just thank all of what was cool about today is we had women in Clubhouse, women on Instagram, and women on Facebook contributing to the conversation. That's just so deep to me, that we have all of these different platforms and access to be able, like, there's no way we could have thought of doing something like this even 10 years ago. So like the reach and the expansion and being able to have this kind of reach to connect with the right people, the options are almost endless more to it. So that's super cool. So shout out to all of you. And it's just the beginning. Um, Also, I just want to acknowledge like all the other things we have going on. Since we're winding down, what do you got going on?
Well, I am working slowly but steadily towards putting together a showcase for myself. I have a lot of artwork that I want to present to the world and music that I put together and some dances in my brain that I want to put on some bodies and tell a story through choreography. So I am working on, putting that showcase together. I just need to find a venue essentially and continue to spread the word. Right now, I'm working on just actually putting the show together. Like, what's the run of the show going to be? How long is it going to be? What do I want to present specifically, et cetera, et cetera? Because I have books that have a whole bunch of ideas in it, but that's one of the things I have going on. And then I have this fun idea. I'm just gonna throw it out there, but I want to do this retreat sometime either in the fall, sometime this summer, or definitely by winter. So we'll see how it goes. But the goal is to find a cute little hotel, pack us all in there. We're gonna drink, smoke, party, do our thing, then go hiking, have a night in the cabin, do our thing out there, come on back, and send y'all home. Swag bags, food.
Swag bags.
All right, and it's gonna be like a self-love retreat. So I really want people to like get into loving themselves and take this time out for themselves and connect with other women who are also doing the same kind of a work. So when they get into their own physical spaces, away from the group, they know that they have other women they can connect to, and just be a part of the circle and keep growing it like that. So those are the couple of things that I've got going on in the studio work. So yeah.
I love it. And how can we find you?
You can find me on Clubhouse. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. Please link up with me. My handle on Instagram is may.alice.catherine.wells. My whole government name. My whole government name. So please come and find me. You can also type all of that into Clubhouse, Facebook, and YouTube, and I will pop up some way, shape, form, or fashion. So yes, find me on all the platforms. Get at me, and let's get some things popping.
Shall we? Let's. So for me, we have Mahogany Mother Circle, which has just expanded to being in a space at Mama Bird Maternity Wellness Spa in Aurora, Colorado, every other Sunday. So this Sunday we're going to have a game morning because it won't be game night. Have some nice enchiladas and rice and all the things and just kick it. So bring your games and we'll bring the food. I don't have the address, but I will post all that stuff. And then I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse. Clubhouse is the only one with my government name, Marquesa D. Allen. The other ones I will also post. I'll post my link tree because it has all of my links on there. I'm really into my link tree these days. I love it. Oh yeah, okay. Mama Bird Maternity Wellness Spa. Thank you for looking it up. The address is 15200 East Girard Avenue, Suite 3100 in Aurora, Colorado. Sunday, it's at 11:30 to 1. We're playing games. The 29th of May, we're doing sip and paint. So that's 25 ahead. Then in June, we have May coming in. And then the last Sunday in June, we're doing a doula Q&A. So you know the difference between a doula and a midwife. And then July, we have a barbecue. So those are the things we got going on thus far for the summer. And then for me personally, I've just launched a journey coach. I'm a mama journey coach. So I would love to have you just reach out for consultations around breastfeeding or any milestone you're having as a new mom or new changes, new job, anything. And we will design a 6-week program to make sure you're being more intentional in designing where you want to go in direction and not just being in default. And man, I think that's it.
That's it?
That's it. That's all.
Beautiful. We love it. We love it. Where can we find you? Oh, did you tell us?
Yeah, you can find me. It's real complicated, but I would love if you're on Clubhouse to join our Mahogany Mother Circle club. And then Mahogany Mother Circle is on Instagram, straight like that. That's what it's called. Also on Facebook now. And that's it. I mean, and then reach out to us on email if you would like. Mahogany Mother Circle at Gmail. Also, I'm looking for a logo. And I'll just tell you right now, the concept is less parent magazine type-ish, but more urban, spunky Mahogany Mother Circle. Because every mom that comes to our groups are just so cool. They're just so cool. And so I want to make sure that we have something that really reflects the flavor of what we do, what we got going on, and the beautiful babies that are in the group. So yeah, I'm looking for a logo. And so if there's anybody who wants to submit one, obviously I'm going to compensate, but I just want to see, like, put it out there.
I just had an idea.
Listening.
All right. How many people are in your circle? You don't know yet? It don't matter. I would say invite everybody. Could you imagine sitting like crisscross applesauce, but the women on their backs and all holding hands and all different shades of brown? But we use your real women. We take a picture from overhead.
Yeah.
But then we make it silhouette style. And that could be a logo.
That would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll do it in July.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do that in July. That is so fun. Oh my gosh. I like that. I'm going to start sending the email out for that because that's super dope. Okay, got my wheels turning. Got my wheels turning.
Yes, girl. And then in the center, you could put whatever you wanted for, like if you have a workshop going on, it could be the women and then boom, some sort of image. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you want a heart or an earth or a star or something. You know what I mean? Something.
Will you help me coordinate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
I have a photographer.
Okay.
That would be super dope.
Yeah, let's get it poppin'.
I really like that. I know that I had. Let me make sure I talked about everything. Oh my goodness! I hit everything on the notes and I didn't even look. That's amazing.
Yes. Oh, what's our topic next week?
Our topic next week, we're still in the same series. And next week, we are talking about... I love that I kept it in your handwriting. I never typed it. Okay, so next week, we're going to be talking about... Black... Black, what is that? Womb versus, how we are different in general in the world. Okay,
yes, black women versus everybody else.
Yes, black women versus the world. I remember now. I'm so sorry. How could I forget? And that the reason we thought about that one is I was talking about, like, you cannot describe to people what it's like to be a black woman unless you're a black woman.
Right.
It's also exhausting to try. And so that's why we want to be really clear on why we're having these spaces is because we run up against that frustration of not like having to explain real simple stuff like don't touch my hair. Who does that? So that's not what we're talking about, but just in general, like what makes us unique, what sets us apart in a good way, not in a combative way.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm excited for that.
I love your handwriting too, by the way. I wasn't trying to say I could read. I was just like, I don't remember what this was about, but here we go.
You're so funny. You're so funny. I feel like I'm gonna play us a little tune before we roll up out of here, and we still gotta do our grounding techniques. So
we do.
This has been a lively discussion, I must say. I don't know what that is.
You're wearing the same hair.
I am.
She's wearing the same hair.
All right, let's. Oh, I know. I wanted to play. I said, "That's what happened." That was a. I do readings every once in a while
on Zoom.
Well, not on Zoom, but we met on Zoom because we were doing our reading properly. But no,
you're doing so good, P. Shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to that baby.
You starting to know the routine. You understood the assignment. You did.
That's the song I wanted to play.
Yeah. I'm excited for the summer. Why you cue that up? The perfect song to welcome the summer.
Yeah, summer should be popping this year. Where are you two?
The sun shines just to bless you, that the moon glows just to bless you, that the wind blows just to touch you. To bless you, that the moon glows just to bless you, that the wind blows
Yeah, so it's my homie Mahogany Zori. That's funny. With beautiful. Because we are all beautiful. Jeans.
We used that song. We added that. You know, buddy.
So why not? I don't know what y'all play next.
You know.
Okay.
Putting beautiful somewhere in your affirmation or having an affirmation about being beautiful, that should be a requirement.
I absolutely agree.
That's funny.
Is it now?
We're like Mary J. Blige, Good Morning, Gorgeous.
Oh,
but we can't play that though.
I was about to say,
down, though.
Who cares? Listen, we ain't got the rights to them songs just now, these ones, but we got the rights to play it. We'll just combine it.
Good morning, gorgeous.
Okay.
Good morning, gorgeous.
I'll just dispute it, and they'll be like,
You can dispute? They silence you?
They do for a minute, but then I dispute it, and then they release it, and then we keep it pushing.
Oh, that's what's up. But they're going to shut me down on Instagram.
Well, Instagram, we love you. So, if you don't get to join us for Good Morning Gorgeous,
we should just let them go. Thank you, Instagram.
Well, let them get a little taste before
okay,
you know.
Yeah, we're going to get shut down, though. They did it to us last time.
But we love you.
We do.
Alice.
Yes, baby.
Pick that one.
Okay.
Pick that song.
This is a commercial.
Pick the commercial.
Pick the commercial.
Hi, beautiful. My daughter. Hi, sweetheart.
Take us home, Mary.
It's so hard just holding on and even picking.
Not today. What are we doing? We're wrapping up our discussion on how.
My phone. It's hard enough to be, hard enough to stay, hard enough to be alone. I'm just trying to move along. Sometimes I do, and then I.
Not this song. Not only that, it cleared the whole screen. I guess they want us to sing it.
Good morning, gorgeous. A message from the baby. Ooh, no, they did. They said no can do.
That's my daughter.
Not my phone.
See? Gigi's on there. She's probably coming.
That's all right. We're gonna put it on the playlist, and if
we
you get to
playlist,
we're gonna put it on the playlist. And for those of you who make the BU workshop at the Mahogany Mother Circle on June 11th.
Yes,
you'll get to join
BU.
us. So I'm gonna be hosting a BU workshop, and we just gonna be ourselves. BU girl.
BU.
That's fierce. You gonna have a little bee? Yes, girl.
Take pictures of all the platforms.
Okay, get it. Boom.
And
Facebook. What up, Facebook?
No, don't report her.
Ooh. It be your own folks.
You said yes. Now get. Not that song.
Girl, I know. Be your own kid.
That song. Not that song.
It's so hard just holding on and even picking up my phone. It's hard enough to be, hard enough to stay, hard enough to be alone. I'm just trying to move along. Sometimes I do and then I don't. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell myself that it ain't healthy. Second guessing it don't help me. I'm so tired of feeling empty. Dry my eyes, it's time to fight. Seems like I'm always against me. Seems like this is never ending. I refuse to let it end me. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I need my peace. Oh, I need my peace. I wake up every morning and tell myself, good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. No one else can make me feel this way. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous.
I would say grab my
all the times that I hated myself, all the times that I wanted to be
over here.
all the times that I should have been gentle.
We're not the same, Mary, but I love you, girl. I love you.
Why did I hate myself?
I'll take one.
Lord help me. I wake up every morning and tell myself, good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes I gotta look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. I ain't talking about getting no hair and makeup. I'm talking about as soon as I wake up, I say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Okay, with the bamboo earring, you better come through.
She did that.
Go ahead, Mary. She done did that. Ooh, child. Okay,
She
we
did
love
that.
you.
I want that one.
You
Isn't that
want
pretty?
that one?
Isn't she gorgeous? When I was pregnant, we went to her concert. You remember?
Yeah, no, totally.
My outfit was cute too. I did something different.
Ooh.
I had short shorts on.
Got shirts.
No, I had short shorts on. You had no clothes on in my bed.
I got a dress on.
Yes, you do. Because it may contain. Ooh, what happened to my screen?
Finish. Bye.
We're done with you.
See you.
Oh, we already got it in.
See you later. We knew it was gonna happen.
We knew it was coming, haters. It's all right. Ooh, resume. Facebook already let y'all know what was up. Who's Gigi? Your sister?
Your best friend.
Technically a Gigi too, but we'll talk about that another time.
Gigi.
Another note.
Gigi.
Yes, Gigi is short for ghetto goddess. That's what I am. A ghetto goddess. You can't take my hair now.
All right, well, let's wrap it up.
Alice,
Yes,
do you
darling.
wanna go, Alice?
Do I want to go?
Yeah.
Go
What's the
where?
grounding that I wanted?
Oh, yes, let's do our grounding technique before we roll up out of here.
Alright. I will do the one we started with last week to activate all your senses. What you're going to do, and let's really take our time. We have like
Alice, do you wanna
we
go,
have a few.
Alice?
We have like 5 minutes. So
Do you wanna go, Alice?
Maybe.
all right. So we're going to rub our hands together
Oh, they
to
can't hear you.
feel the heat. Rub our hands.
Don't be mad at our production house.
Together to feel the heat. Feel that heat. And pause. That same type of breath that we took at the beginning. Take a deep breath. Hold it in for 3 seconds. Delivering air to your diaphragm. Hold it for 3 seconds. Exhale. Now stomp your feet. Feel your toes. Feel the ball of your feet. Feel your heels. And pause. Breathe in again for 3 seconds to your diaphragm.
I can't put my ear there.
Hold it. Exhale. Yeah, everything came in. And to the sky. Reach. Stretch all the way with your hands up to the sky.
Oh my.
Take that breath.
It's mine.
I need this picture so bad. I didn't get it. Down.
Oh, Miss Alice.
All right. Hands together.
What's right here? Let's go.
Throw them together. Feel the heat. Pause. Inhale for 3 seconds. Hold for 3 seconds. Exhale. Stomp your feet. Feel your toes. The ball. Your heel. Pause.
Oh.
Breathe in for 3.
Alice.
Exhale for 3.
Alice.
And reach. Exhale. Bring it down. And let's just roll our shoulders back. And my challenge to you this week is to be mindful of your posture.
Yes.
Mindful of your spine.
Mm-hmm.
Your spine's important as well as your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, do you see what time it is?
Alice, do you
Straight like that.
Straight like that.
Wow.
Look at us.
Another week.
Woo!
Under our belt. Magic and Movement. Mahogany Mother Circle. Join the club. Also, next week is Black Woman versus the World. Versus the world. So thank you. Have a good night. We're closing the room in 3, 2, and 1. Drink your water.
Yes, drink your water and stay blessed, everybody. Be good out there, not only to yourselves, but to everyone else who comes into your
Drink
circle.
my water.
We love you.
Drink my water. Drink my water.
Drink more water, please.
Drink more water, please. Swagadocious. And stream on YouTube.